Master Huang-Po, part 3. I've been putting this off all day. I'm sorry. If you students of the way desire knowledge of this great mystery, only avoid attachment to any single thing beyond mind. To say that the real Dharmakaya of the Buddha resembles the void is another way of saying that the Dharmakaya is the void, and that the void is the Dharmakaya. Some people often claim that the Dharmakaya is in the void, and that the void contains the Dharmakaya, not realizing that they are one and the same. But if you define the void as something existing, then it is not the Dharmakaya. And if you define the Dharmakaya as something existing, then it is not the void. Only refrain from any objective conception of the void, then it is the Dharmakaya. And if you only refrain from any objective conception of the Dharmakaya, why then it is the void. Wow, this is difficult, Mr. Huang-Po. Come on. Too many things you have to hold on to. These two do not differ from one another. Nor is there any difference between sentient beings and Buddhas, or between samsara and nirvana, or between delusion and Bodhi. When all such forms are abandoned, there is Buddha. Ordinary people look to their surroundings, while followers of the way look to mind. But the true Dharma is to forget them both. The former is easy enough, the latter very difficult. Men are afraid to forget their minds, fearing to fall through the void with nothing to stay their fall. They do not know that the void is not really void, but the realm of the real Dharma. This spiritually enlightening nature is without beginning, as ancient as the void, subject neither to birth nor destruction, neither existing nor not existing, neither impure nor pure, neither clamorous nor silent, neither old nor young, occupying no space, having neither inside nor outside, size nor form, color nor sound. It cannot be looked for or sought, comprehended by wisdom or knowledge, explained in words, contained materially, or reached by meritorious achievement. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, together with all wriggling things possessed of life, share in this great nirvanic nature. The nature is mind. Mind is the Buddha, and the Buddha is the Dharma. Any thought apart from this truth is entirely a wrong thought. You cannot use mind to seek mind, the Buddha to seek Buddha, or the Dharma to seek Dharma. So you students of the way should immediately refrain from conceptual thought. Let a tacit understanding be all. Any mental process must lead to error. There is just a transmission of mind with mind. This is the proper view to hold. Be careful not to look outward to material surroundings. To mistake material surroundings for mind is to mistake a thief for your son. It is only in contradistinction to greed, anger, and ignorance that abstinence, calm, and wisdom exist. Without illusion, how could there be enlightenment? Therefore Bodhidharma said, the Buddha enunciated all dharmas in order to eliminate every vestige of conceptual thinking. If I referenced entirely from conceptual thought, what would be the use of all the dharmas? Attach yourselves to nothing beyond the pure Buddha nature, which is the original source of all things. Suppose you were to adorn the void with countless jewels. How would they remain in position? The Buddha nature is like the void. Though you were to adorn it with inestimable merit and wisdom, how could they remain there? They would only serve to conceal its original nature and to render it invisible. That which is called the doctrine of mental origins, followed by certain other sects, postulates that all things are built up in mind, and that they manifest themselves upon contact with the external environment, ceasing to be manifest when that environment is not present. But it is wrong to conceive of an environment separate from the pure, unvarying nature of all things. That which is called the mirror of concentration and wisdom, another reference to Nanzen Mahayana doctrine, which I don't think he said. That must be a author's note. Author's citation. Okay. Requires the use of sight, hearing, feeling, and cognition, which lead to successful states of calm and agitation. When these involve concepts based on environmental objects, they are temporary expedients appealing to one of the lower categories of roots of goodness. And this category of roots of goodness merely enables people to understand what is said to them. If you wish to experience enlightenment yourselves, you must not indulge in such conceptions. They are all environmental dharmas concerning things which are and things which are not, based on existence and non-existence. If only you will avoid concepts of existence and non-existence in regard to absolutely everything, you will then perceive the Dharma. You see here in this statement right here, he echoes the teachings of his teacher, Bazang, Paichang, Baichang, Pazang. One, the same guy, but one of the two names, I just got them mixed up. But that guy is rough too. Okay, anyhow. This is why I like reading them in order, because you get to see them like you've taken in the entire season, and you can see the lore and the inside jokes, and so it's really fun for me. But I am insane, so what can I say? On the first day of the 9th moon, the Master said to me, "From the time of the great Master Bodhidharma arrived in China, he spoke only of the one mind, and transmitted only the one Dharma. He used the Buddha to transmit the Buddha, never speaking of any other Buddha. He used the Dharma to transmit the Dharma, never speaking of any other Dharma. That Dharma was the wordless Dharma, and that Buddha was the intangible Buddha, since they were in fact that pure mind which is the source of all things. This is the only truth. All else is false. Prajna is wisdom. Wisdom is the formless original mind source. Ordinary people do not seek the way, but merely indulge in their 6 senses, which lead them back to the 6 realms of existence. A student of the way, by allowing himself a single samsaric thought, falls among devils. If he permits himself a single thought leading to differential perception, he falls into heresy. To hold that there is something born, and to try to eliminate it, that is to fall among the Shravakas. Shravakas. To hold that things are not born, but capable of destruction, is to fall among the Pratyakas. Nothing is born, nothing is destroyed. Away with your dualism, your likes and dislikes. Every single thing is just the one mind. When you have perceived this, you will have mounted the chariot of the Buddhas. ordinary people all indulge in conceptual thought based on environmental phenomenon. Hence they feel desire and hatred. To eliminate environmental phenomenon, just put an end to your conceptual thinking. When this ceases, from a non-environmental phenomenon are void. And when these are void, thought ceases. But if you try to eliminate environment without first putting a stop to conceptual thought, you will not succeed, but merely increase its power to disturb you. Thus all things are naught but mind, intangible mind. So what can you hope to attain? There are those students of Pranja who hold that there is nothing tangible whatever, so they cease thinking of the three vehicles. There is only the one reality, neither to be realized nor attained. To say I am able to realize something, or I am able to attain something, is to place yourself amongst the arrogant. The men who flapped their garments and left the meeting, as mentioned in the Lotus Sutra, were just such people. Therefore the Buddha said, I truly obtained nothing from enlightenment. There is just a mysterious, tacit understanding, and no more. It couldn't be more. Yunman said, you can't understand it. Monk said, but why? He said, you just can't. Oh, we might get to Yunman, sure, but I don't know if I win. So, if an ordinary man, when he is about to die, could only see the 5 elements of the conscious as void, the 4 physical elements as not constituting an I, the real mind is formless and neither coming nor going, his nature as something other, neither commencing at his birth nor perishing at his death, but as a whole, and motionless in its very depths, his mind and environmental objects as one. If he could really accomplish this, he would receive enlightenment in a flash. He would no longer be entangled by the triple world. He would be a world transcender. He would be without even the faintest tendency toward rebirth. If he should hold the glorious sight of all the Buddhas coming to welcome him, surrounded by every kind of gorgeous manifestation, he would feel no desire to approach them. If he should behold all sorts of horrific forms surrounding him, he would experience no terror. He would just be himself, oblivious of conceptual thought, and one with the Absolute. He would have attained the state of unconditioned being. This, then, is the fundamental principle. On the 8th day of the 10th moon, the Master said to me, it sounds like a song. The Master said to me, that which is called the city of illusion contains the 2 vehicles and the 10 stages of the Bodhisattva's practice, and the 2 forms of full enlightenment. All of them are powerful teachings for arousing people's interest, but they still belong to the city of illusion. That which is called the place of precious things is the real mind, the original Buddha essence, the treasure of our own real nature. The jewels cannot be measured or accumulated. Yet since there is neither Buddha nor sentient beings, neither subject nor object, where can there be a city of precious things? If you ask, well, so much for the city of illusion, but where is the place of precious things? Is it a place to which no directions could be given? For if it could be pointed out, it would be a place existing in space. Hence, it could not be the real place of precious things. All we can say is that it is close by. It cannot exactly be described, but when you have a tacit understanding of its substance, it is there. was tough. Alright. I can't pronounce this word. Sorry, guys. Ikchantikas are those whose beliefs are incomplete. All beings within the 6 realms of existence, including those who follow Mahayana and Hinayana, if they do not believe in their potential Buddhahood, are accordingly called Ikchantikas, with cut-off roots of goodness. Bodhisattvas who believe deeply in the Bodhidharma, without accepting the division into Mahayana and Hinayana, but who do not realize the one nature of Buddhas and sentient beings, are accordingly called Ikchantikas, with roots of goodness. Those who are enlightened largely through hearing the spoken doctrine are termed Sarvakyas, hearers. Those enlightened through perception of the law of karma are called Pratyeka Buddhas, and those who become Buddhas, but not from enlightenment occurring in their own minds, are called Hero Buddhas. Most students of the way are enlightened through the Dharma, which is taught in words and not through the Dharma of mind. Even after successful eons of effort, they will not become attuned to the original Buddha essence. Students of the way are enlightened through the Dharma, which is taught in words. Most students are not taught through the Dharma of the mind. Even after successful eons of effort, they will not become attuned to the original Buddha essence. For those who are not enlightened from within their own minds, but from hearing the Dharma, which is taught in words, make light of mind and attach importance to doctrine. So they advance only step by step, neglecting their original mind. Thus, if only you have a tacit understanding of mind, you will not need to search for any Dharma, for then the mind is the Dharma. People are often hindered by environmental phenomenon from perceiving mind, and by individual events from perceiving underlying principles. So, they often try to escape from environmental phenomenon in order to still their minds, or to obscure events in order to retain their grasp of principles. They do not realize that this is merely to obscure phenomenon with mind, events with principles. Just let your minds become void, and environmental phenomenon will void themselves. Let principles cease to stir, and events will cease stirring of themselves. Do not employ mind in this perverted way. Many people are afraid to empty their minds, lest they may plunge into the void. They do not know that their own mind is the void. The ignorant eschew phenomenon, but not thought. The wise eschew thought, but not phenomenon. The Bodhisattva's mind is like the void, for he relinquishes everything and does not even desire to accumulate merits. There are 3 kinds of relinquishments. When everything inside and outside, bodily and mental, has been relinquished, when, as in the void, no attachments are left, when all action is dictated purely by place and circumstance, when subjectivity and objectivity are forgotten, that is the highest form of relinquishment. When, on the other hand, the way is followed by the performance of virtuous acts, while on the other, relinquishment of merit takes place, and no hope of reward is entertained, that is the medium form of relinquishment. When all sorts of virtuous actions are performed within the hope of reward by those who, nevertheless, know of the void by hearing the Dharma, and those who are therefore unattached, That is the lowest form of relinquishment. The first is like a blazing torch held to the front, which makes it impossible to mistake the path. The second is like a blazing torch held to one side, so that it sometimes lights and it's sometimes dark. The third is like blazing torch held behind, so that pitfalls in front are not seen.